Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the King Leo Show. I'm your host, King Leo. How's everyone doing tonight? Let me check the audio's working. I'm refreshed. I'm doing well. Let me see here. There we go. This working? Good evening, everyone. Welcome. Perfect. It's working. How's everyone doing tonight? Welcome to the King Leo Show. Oh, happy birthday, Dave Smith. It was my birthday yesterday, unfortunately. It's just embarrassing at this point, man. It's just embarrassing. How you doing, J Boss? Da novela favorita vai começar. No, but yeah, dude, it's just embarrassing at this point. I subtract 5 from my age because they took 5 years. I feel like someone who went to prison, right? You go to prison, you get a nickel, you get 5 years off your real age, don't you? Doing well, você. Eu vou muito bom, muito bom. Eu manjar. How do you say eat? Is it manjar? I know fome. Eat in Portuguese. Oh, yeah, that's why you make it up. Eu comi muita torta. Not Mexican. You know, just cake. Cake! How do you guys say cake? Comer. Yeah. Comer. Dude, I need to move to Portugal and just learn that language. I heard everyone can learn it in like 6 months. It's pretty simple. But I just need that EU passport. Then I can get over there, just chill out. Oh man, those golden visa guys, dude, they kind of ruined it. I went to Lisbon. Bolo? How do you say cake? Cake in Portuguese. Yeah, it was my birthday yesterday. Yeah. Bolo. Wow, I didn't know that. Bolo. Torta também. Pastel. Oh, pastel de Belém. Yeah, dude, it was my birthday yesterday. Unfortunately, but it's okay. We persist. We move on. We exist. All right. It's 10 o'clock. Welcome to the King Leo Show, everyone. How is everyone doing tonight? Welcome here. We're having a great time tonight. We have to talk about Jordan Peterson. We got an update on Jordan Peterson. It's just the phone is chirping, and we have Mikhaila Peterson giving us an update. Is he even alive? Thank you, J Boss. Thank you, sir. Yeah, it was a fine birthday. I was just a little annoyed that it was Dave Smith's birthday too, and I'm like, you know, it's Dave Smith. Dave Smith, me, Hitler, and the Columbine school shooting all on the same day, and the weed day, you know. Sure, Dave Smith was toking it up on his libertarian day. But thank you, sir. I appreciate that. But don't remind me, man. Don't remind me. I saw every day, every time it's my birthday, I go onto Twitter and it's people fighting about marijuana and Hitler. And I'm like, can I get a little respite here, you know? But no, we have to talk about Jordan Peterson. I swear, dude, I think he's dead. I think we can say he's dead. I've even seen people in the comments of his daughter's video say that this is suspicious. And this is something that I care about, you know, despite everything, my differences with Jordan Peterson. No one should be tortured Silence of the Lambs style. No one should be tortured John Kiriakou style.
Do you waterboard him? Do you sleep deprive him? Do you put him in a cold cell? Do you beat him? Do you put cockroaches on him? Do you put hummus up his ass?
You should be in jail, Mikhaila Peterson. Dude, I swear she's torturing this poor man. And I get it. He has his faults. He wasn't the best guy. I don't like him personally, but it's not fair. 45-minute video or so. 45-minute video about this. About, you know, what's going on with him. Last time, we're doing updates on the show every time something comes up with it. And last time they said he was being attacked by demons along with her child. This is really sounding like some Casey Anthony situation. J-Boss says either dead or in a Canadian prison. Dude, I think he might. I really think he might be dead. Because I check his YouTube channel daily to see if there's any updates. No and this is elder abuse, right? Look, I understand that sometimes on this show, we have our criticisms of boomers. I have my criticisms of everyone, of Zoomers, millennials. But no one deserves this. This is a fate worse than death. You know, to be treated the way Jordan Peterson is being treated. His ghost is haunting the internet. This guy is everywhere and nowhere. I need proof of life. It's not. All right. Let's get into the show. Another topic we're going to touch on is there's a Bible reading this week by President Trump. He's reading the Bible to everyone. I didn't know. It's crazy. I'll go over this again, but they're doing it at the Museum of the Bible, a live stream. I didn't even know this museum existed. It started in 2017 in DC. And it's founded by the founder of Hobby Lobby, who was caught smuggling ISIS looted illegal relics for the museum. It's crazy stuff. Whatever. All of these people are crazy. We need to watch over here. I remember this guy, Representative Paul Gosar. You remember this? I'm sure any Groiper remembers this. This guy, a few years ago, before Nicholas Fuentes was in vogue, my Hispanic brother, this was one of his few allies in the government. It was Marjorie Taylor Greene and Paul Gosar. And I remember because there were all these attacks, Paul Gosar, he's bad or so. And then they got into a spat. How you doing, Audio Vibes? And Paul Gosar is not really friends with Mr. Fuentes anymore. And I hadn't kept up with him. I was like, what happened to this guy? And this Groiper curse thing is really real, dude. Let's watch what happened to this man over here, who was once a distinguished representative. Yes, new stickers, Audio Vibes. Yes. I stole some of these. Yeah, we have the angry Pepe. I'm glad you liked it. And the soy jack. I was very glad to make those. That one looks better than I thought. I thought that was going to look bad, the one of the guy laughing. Great stuff. I'm glad you enjoyed them. I'm going to add more over the weekend again. How you doing, Monkey Land? Thank you, Monkey Land. Appreciate it. All right, let's see Paul Gosar.
We've got a president who reminds me of Atlas. He carries this country on his back. Well, the Democrats, yes. I thought it was pretty good, similarity. Well, the Democrats, the elites, the fake news, and the leftist political classes try to tear him down every single day. But he keeps standing. He keeps fighting. And so must we. Because we believe in something simple, something powerful. Like the words of a former president, John F. Kennedy. He once said, ask not what you can do for your country, or what your country do for you, but ask what you can do for your country.
I mean, I'm just wondering, do we waterboard him? Do we, what is it again? I'm going to memorize it.
Do you waterboard him? Do you sleep deprive him? Do you put him in a cold cell? Do you beat him? Do you put cockroaches on him? Do you put hummus up his ass?
Do you put hummus up his ass? What is this, dude? What? Oh, look, I'm very fair-minded when it comes to these things. He could be sick, okay? He could be, but it would be appropriate if we're living under Yeltsin that at least one of the guys in our government is drunk. This is
sensational.
We have the teetotaler president and his drunk, what do you call this? Like emissary or something? Well, a little bit more.
Well, let me tell you, there's something you can do. You can build what we're calling tonight that red wall. Not all at once, not overnight, one brick at a time, one voter at a time, one conversation at a time, one neighborhood at a time, one campus on a time.
What I love about this too is that you can hear the little hoots and hollers from the TPUSA crowd. And I'm wondering, because, they're conservatives. You know how we feel about conservatives.
Conservatives are the worst. You cannot work with them. You have to be in opposition to them. You have to oppose them constantly, even when they sound like you, especially when they sound like you. And you need to deplatform conservatives.
If you're a conservative, thank you, Eves. Thank you, Eves. How are you doing? Miss you at the beginning. Happy B-Day, King Leo. Don't get, I hope not. Eves, please. No. It's my age minus 5 years, man. It doesn't count. Thank you for the super chat, sir. I appreciate you. Didn't see you there earlier. And thank you, Audio. I saw you. I said happy birthday. Appreciate you. Thanks a lot, Eves. I really appreciate that. And no, we will not be getting old over here. Will not be getting older. And how you doing, Ephra? How you doing? All right. I'm just wondering if you're a conservative. Thank you, really appreciate it. If you get the drunkest, dumbest idiot to say there are only two genders, are you gonna just clap like a seal? Like, just clap like. Is it that easy? Is it really that easy? I might even do that experiment, man. Let's get like the fattest, dumbest idiot and train him or her to recite, trite political points over and over and over again, and see if they get all the. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing to see. I just need my wind up. Facts don't care about your feelings. It's just crazy shit. Thank you, Ease. One more of these. Let's continue. Let's check in on the left. How's the left doing? How's the left bringing the country together? Let's check on Kyle Kulinski, the great Kyle Kulinski, who's married to a barren woman of divorcee who divorce raped her first. Oh, whatever. Let's continue.
We should probably have a national divorce, right? We should probably have a national divorce. There should be the red states of America and the blue states of America, and we can run that experiment. We'll come check back in 100 years and see what's going on. And what everybody will find is what we already know, which is the blue states would have universal health care and free college and a living wage. They'd have much higher standard of living. Their GDP would be much higher. Their social freedom index would be through the roof. They'd be much more democratic. They'd be much more peaceful and stable of a system. And then the red states would be a fucking catastrophe. Okay? This is why, anytime, do a little exercise.
And you do this. When you do this, that's when you sit down and listen, because that's when you're channeling a real black woman. I'm gonna do the black woman thing, dude.
Come up with some sort of social metric, right? And then see who does better on that, red states or blue states. And it's a fun game because you ain't gonna find the red states leading in shit. Okay, I mean, like, quite literally, anything you can come up with, they're failing. I mean, even like the blue states are massive net tax payers to the federal government. The red states are net tax receivers. And these are the people who whine and cry and bitch and moan and say, I don't want no parasites, no moochers taking my fucking tax money, man. And it's like, well, the blue states are subsidizing all your bitch asses. We should probably have a national divorce.
We should probably have a personal divorce. This is great. This is crazy, man. How you doing, CCT? I don't understand how this works. This is now the leftist. Is Kyle Kulinski a left? What is this guy, dude? What is this guy? What is this guy? What is he?
We live in hell. We live in the gutter.
What political position is this where we need a national divorce? So everyone's an anarchist now. We're all anarchists. We love to be anarchists. Wow, great stuff. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate it. I just don't understand how you're supposed to bring. Thank you.
Shut up. Be quiet before you get exiled.
You might as well call me the N-word.
Say the N-word. Go on.
I'm not liking that. I'll do you the air horns after. I'm not liking that. Thank you, Ephra. I appreciate that. Welcome back, Dave Smith. It's not funny, dude. It's not funny. I am not Dave Smith. Dave Smith is the reincarnation of Hitler, but I am not Dave Smith. No. You know what's crazy? Now that you have me thinking of it, Ephra, Dave Smith is a failed comedian who went into politics and ran for president and is disappointed with the political system. That does smell like Hitler. Dave Smith is the Jewish comedian Hitler. That's crazy. That's actually kind of true. No, obviously not. He's Jewish. It wouldn't be. That's a poor taste to say. But there are some parallels with Hitler in terms of failing at the art form that he wanted to be really good at. You know, that's pretty wild. I appreciate the super chat, Ephra. I don't appreciate the comparison to Davey Smith, the great Dave Smith over there. All right. All right, that just threw me off. Let's get past this clown. Dude, this clown, man. I really do hate. Let's do another round of air horns. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, despite everyone's derision. Besides, everyone calling me Dave Smith, I can't do it. I can't. Whatever. One day we'll get Dave Smith numbers and all that. Anyway. What is wrong with these people, man? Dude, you are a 50-year-old man basically wearing a goddamn earring. I mean, just can you imagine this? Can you wearing an earring with blonde hair, married to a divorcee with kids? Brother, ew!
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Me looking at my fellow conservative hater like, oh my God, get him away from me. Oh my, it's just terrible. All right, let's continue. Let's watch over here. I want to show you this gaslighting, man, because we actually have a big step today. We have a big step from Tucker Carlson that I'm going to have to play. A very, very big step from Tucker. I almost have forgiven Tucker Carlson for his transgressions. But before we look at that, brother, dude, this guy is... I hate all of you, man.
Shut up. Be quiet before you get exiled.
You people are just gonna... I understand now. I understand Nick Fuentes' relationship with his chatters. Now, why are you calling me Dave Smith? You know that I don't like Dave Smith. You know that nothing in this world makes me more angry than... No, I'm not angry about it, but I do understand it. I understand my Hispanic brother. I'm like, why do they insist on this? Why do they? Anyway, this is not the Dave Smith show. This is the King Leo show. We have nothing in common. This is not the Professor Yang show. Thank you, J Boss. I appreciate it. For your birthday cake. Thank you, sir. Thank you. I made myself, well, no, my friend made me a gluten-free pumpkin spice cake, which is very good. Very good. Very good stuff. And happy birthday to, no. Thank you again, J Boss. I'm going to quit. I can't do this. I can't do this. You know, sometimes people in the comments will insult me with like, they'll be like, you're brown, you're Indian. And sometimes they'll be like, you're Jewish, which is not an insult. Obviously, that would be anti-Semitic to say, you don't say that.
Cool it with the anti-Semitic remarks.
And I feel like Dave Smith is the same thing. Like, you're being anti-Semitic when you call me Dave Smith. All right, let's continue. I appreciate the super chats, guys. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. All right, let's continue. I wanted to show you some gaslighting here before we get to Tucker. Thank you, Robbie. Appreciate it. Let's show some gaslighting here. This is Mark Cuban. Mark Cuban is one of these low testosterone individuals. What? You know, yes, he owns a pharma company, but he's low T.
Oh, hang on.
He's definitely low T. I promise you, he's low T. I'm going to ban you. I'm going to start banning people. Anyway, let's see him reflect on the greatest political campaign of all time, which everyone knew was going to win, if not for racism, which was the Kamala Harris campaign. Let's see what he has to say about his role supporting this campaign.
You were a major Kamala Harris surrogate in 2024. I'm going to give you a pop quiz. Mm-hmm. What was her message on healthcare?
Don't remember, don't care. Those days are gone. It doesn't matter. All I can tell you is Republicans.
Do you think she had one?
I don't care. Right? There's no reason to relitigate that.
You're inspired by it.
No, it doesn't matter. You know, right now, Republicans need better health care, cheaper health care. Democrats need better, cheaper. There's no point in relitigating any of that. I would undo the Luca trade too if I could, you know.
So let me rephrase that in a forward-looking way, or revise it in a forward-looking way. Would you like to see her run for president again?
No.
And tell me why not.
Doesn't matter.
What do you mean it doesn't matter?
To me, again, I don't care at this point in time. Right now, we've got until 2028. I don't care.
All right, here we go with the big show to distract. Do you see how disgusting this is? People in this country do not have any sense of loyalty. This billionaire, Mark Cuban, who made his money by scamming someone out of their company, allegedly. Don't sue me because I don't know. That part of the show is scripted. And then played the financial markets by buying put options on Yahoo stock. Wow, dude, you're a genius. You know, Mark Cuban said to become a billionaire, you can buy toilet paper in bulk. That was his advice, and toothpaste. That's how you become a billionaire. Anyway, these people will not stand by, and this is the right and the left, man. It doesn't matter why I don't want her to run. No, it actually does. Because why did you support her the first time if you don't want her to run again? If you are betting on red at the roulette table and you lose, and you bet on red again, I'm curious as to why you're betting on red. Do you have some sort of advantage play that I'm not aware of? Is it just a superstitious thing? Why did you support Kamala? I'm very curious as to why. But he will just tell you it doesn't matter. I don't remember anything she said, but it doesn't matter. We have to look forward and elect someone else. Why would anyone trust you, given that you are such a pathetic weasel that will run away from anything and every... Do you see what I'm saying? This is... And you have no reason to not take responsibility. You are a billionaire. Everyone has a right to make a mistake, especially billionaires. Especially billionaires. And he is going to... This is why Malcolm X is like one of the greatest to ever do it, dude. It's just no one in this fucking realm, in this hell...
We live in hell. We live in the gutter.
...can admit that they were wrong. I can admit I was wrong. It's totally fine to be wrong and readjust your position and recalibrate. These people, this is designed to make you go insane. There is no other explanation, in my view, for why someone like Mark Cuban in his position would tell you, gaslight you, tell you, oh no, let's just move on. Does that work with Mark Cuban's wife? When Mark Cuban is off on Grindr with Benny Johnson and she finds his phone and sees that it's covered in a stranger's cum and finds, oh, he matched with Benny Johnson and the guy from the Babylon Bee, does he go, babe, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, babe. It's okay. It's okay. We just have to move forward. Would you accept that from your wife or husband? No, you wouldn't. So why would you expect it in here? This is disgusting. And that takes us to Tucker Carlson, who we might actually have to applaud. You guys know that I have not been a big fan of Tucker, not been a big fan of someone telling people to break into the Smithsonian to recover giant bones. I mean, maybe they're there. I don't know, but I don't think so. However, I have to show, this is the first. You know, there's this movie called As Good As It Gets. I'm not a huge fan of it. It's actually kind of sexist, okay? And over here, we are feminists.
Sensational.
Okay, we're feminists on this show. We believe in equal rights for women. Okay. There's a part where Jack Nicholson is asked by a woman, because he's an author in this movie, and she says, how do you write women so well? And he says, I write a man, but I take away accountability, you know. And it was very profound in the 90s, you know, because people were like, oh, women don't take accountability. I don't think this is necessarily true, but whatever. Everyone is that now, except for Tucker Carlson. We have a round of applause for Mr. Tucker Carlson. You're not gonna believe what he said here, man. This is absolutely impeccable stuff. It's impeccable. Eve says, smart buying is massively important. People don't pay enough attention to it, in my opinion. What do you think, sir? Like smart investing regarding Cuban. Yeah, but Cuban is also a scam. That's the thing, Eves. I'm not going to call him a scammer in the sense. Cuban is also going to scam in terms of, remember NFTs? He was one of the first NFT evangelists. I'm sure he sold all his NFTs and made a ton of money. You know, and his Shark Tank deals, I'm sure they don't make enough money. When you're at that status, I think it's very different, because if you put $1 million into the 10-year treasury right now, you get back $50K a year. You put $1 billion, what is that? You get $5 million a year, something like that? Maybe, is it 5 or 50 million or 500,000? I'm retarded. You know, $1 billion is how many times a million? Doesn't matter. It's 1,000 times, right? Millones. Yeah, it has to be 1,000 times. So it's a ton of money, you know. So I'm not gonna trust them. I'm not gonna trust them. But yes, there are people, specifically, like there are some websites where you can screen insiders at companies, whether they're buying or selling, and that's usually a good indicator. But in this postmodern economy, who even knows? But yes, it is a good indicator traditionally, absolutely. How you doing, Iron Hammer Forge? And he was in on the Hawk Tua meme. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, that's why I'm saying that, Ephra. Sorry, Eves, because he's a scammer. He is a scam artist. He is a piece of garbage. Anyway. And NFTs, I think they're not a thing anymore, Ephra, which I kind of want to buy one now that they're not cool anymore. I like this Picasso NFT. Let's take a minute here and really appreciate Tucker Carlson. You guys know I don't like him.
You and I and everyone else who supported him, you wrote speeches for him, I campaigned for him. I mean, we're implicated in this for sure.
Yes.
It's not enough to say, well, I changed my mind, or like, oh, this is bad, I'm out. It's like, in very small ways, but in real ways, you and me and millions of people like us are the reason this is happening right now.
Yes.
So I do think it's like a moment to wrestle with our own consciences. You know,
if he had stopped there, nothing.
We'll be tormented by it for a long time. I will be. And I want to say I'm sorry for misleading people. It was not intentional. That's all I'll say.
Did he one more time. Did you hear that?
I'll say I'm sorry for.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. One more time.
And I want to say I'm sorry.
I want to say I'm sorry. Is it too late now to say sorry? One more time.
You know, we'll be tormented by it for a long time. I will be. And I want to say I'm sorry.
I want to say yes.
I think it's just going to get weirder and weirder and weirder, and finally it's going to be so weird that people are going to have to talk about how weird it is.
He apologized. Now, normally I would say, Tucker Carlson, all is forgiven. Welcome to the end of the Truman Show. Please take a seat. We've been waiting for you. But I can't, unfortunately, I can't. I can't do it, you know? I need to wait for that Qatar check to clear to see if this is real. This is a start. This is a start, you know. Thank you. You know, I would have preferred to see some of this.
Right.
I want to see you crying. I want to see Tucker Carlson on his knees, crawling through glass, crying, with Jocko Willink yelling over his shoulder, "Eat your green juice! Get your ass!" I need to see that. This is a great start. This is not what Mark Cuban is doing. Mark Cuban, on the other hand, is lying to you. And he's telling you to be gaslit. This is the first apology that This show is historical. The King Leal show is historical. We do this show for posterity. So it's a diary, especially people who chat in here, man. You will always be able to go back and check what you were thinking on that specific date. This is a diary. It's a diary for me as well. And we get to see this is the first MAGA apology. And look, I'm not even saying I hate MAGA. I have no problem with MAGA. I'm not a political person. You know, I'm not. I'm a Bajalardian. Bajalardians check in. I'm just not a fan of schizophrenics making the country more schizophrenic. And when I see a schizophrenic apologize for what, that makes me pleased. I feel like a weight got lifted off my shoulder. I feel really good. It feels good, man. It feels like when we first heard that COVID was coming out of China. That was a good time for me, 2019. You know, I was like chilling, going to school, no problems yet. It was great. You know, it wasn't that bad. Iron Hammer Forge, you weren't paying attention, but it's okay because I want to listen to it one more time. Let's listen to the whole thing, sir. Let's listen to the whole thing. Because you know what? Actually, you might have been. Let us listen. You're right. Iron Hammer Forge, you are correct. Let's listen closely. I'm going to keep it small here for us to listen. Let's not let the image overpower. What exactly did he say?
You and I and everyone else who supported him, you wrote speeches for him, I campaigned for him. I mean, we're implicated in this for sure.
Yes.
It's not enough to say, well, I changed my mind, or like, oh, this is bad, I'm out. It's like in very small ways, but in real ways, you and me and millions of people like us are the reason this is happening right now.
Yes.
So I do think it's like a moment to wrestle with our own consciences. You know, we'll be tormented by it for a long time. I will be. And I want to say I'm sorry for misleading people, and it was not intentional. That's all.
Misleading people? That's what he's sorry for. He's sorry for misleading people. And he says it wasn't intentional. That's not even a fake apology. That's a real apology. That is a real apology. That's not, I'm sorry you feel that way. This is not Mark Cuban lying to his wife apology. This is a real apology. Okay? Great stuff. Absolutely great stuff. But I still, all is not forgiven. I need to hear it. I need to hear it. I need to hear it. All right. All right. I think that's enough for now of Schizo Watch. Let's continue to the next segment. Ooh! I feel like an evangelical at church. Ooh! I just want to dance. Tucker Carlson apologized. Oh, no way. Oh my God, dude. Yo, that's crazy. Oh. He apologized. He apologized. A weight lifted off my shoulder. I want to hear Democrats apologize for Obama. Let's continue.
The people are retarded.
Before we get to the first bit of Schizo Watch, I have to show you something here because our first bit is about out of my home state of Florida, my hometown of Florida. This young lady was making uncouth jokes about Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu. We are huge fans on this show of Mr. Netanyahu.
I had no idea your voice is going to sound like that, Netanyahu.
All right. But I had to show you something here before we do that, okay? This is his official account. I have to show you. Apparently today is one of these holidays or something. Look at this. It's the Independence Day of Israel. Let's watch here.
אזרחי ישראל היקרים, אחיי ואחיותיי, זה לוי הקטן.
I don't speak Hebrew. I don't know what he's talking about. I don't read Hebrew either. Okay, he's very happy, it seems. I think he's talking about his brother and stuff. His whole, look, he's doing the ritual. I don't know what this is. I have no idea what this is. But he's doing a Memorial Day for his, this is for our hero, Sean Carmelli. He also honored his brother. Here he is, very happy. It's the Independence Day for Israel. Okay, this is him and his brother, Yoni, who died in the Entebbe raid, okay? And it's all in Hebrew. I don't understand it. Okay, he's very, very happy. And I just have to say, man, to quote Malcolm X, where's Malcolm X?
This is exactly what I'm talking about, the slave mentality, the slave mind.
We know that Mr. Netanyahu is the head overseer in charge. He is our supervisor. And Malcolm X famously said that the house slave, where's Bill Maher? Where's Bill Maher? Where is Bill Maher?
I'm a house nigga.
He said the house slave, when Massa was sick, he would say, "We sick, boss? We sick." When Massa was happy, he said, "We happy, boss." When Massa was injured, "We injured, boss." Because he understood that his interests were aligned with those of Massa, of the overseer. He called this a sickness, the sickness of the house N-word. But I just have to say, I think that seeing Mr. Netanyahu this happy.
Netanyahu, what do you have to say?
I think that I'm becoming outside. He's happy. We happy, boss. We happy. You know, maybe we should partake in some of this happiness. We happy, boss. We have. I didn't even know Israel had an Independence Day. We happy, boss. You know, it's a day after my birthday. Can you believe it? We happy, boss. Boss, we happy. We feel good, Massa. We feel good. I mean, if you can't beat them, man, you might as well have a little bit of joy. And where's that joy coming from, man? And we're not playing that joy. We're playing this. If the boss is happy, we happy. We happy. All right, I'm glad. Maybe, hey, go celebrate Israeli Independence Day. What do they do for... Who did these guys get their independence from? England or something? I don't even understand how this works. Wasn't this state kind of made by the UN or something? How do you get... I know that they had like gangs fighting and all that, but I don't understand. Was it Lawrence of... I don't know. All right. Ephra says, I used to say Tucker was reasonable, but I get the other side. Maybe even if so, it is making a schizo worse. I guess the outcome sometimes matters of how you feel about someone. Yeah, that's true. I mean, to quote Stephen Miller, our secretary of what... Do you want to get through the whole thing? I don't know what he's doing. He's the guy out there yelling about how he hates Mexicans. He's the secretary of hating Mexicans. Who cares? A system's function is what it does, you know. And Tucker's function is to drive you insane, you know. J-Boss says the Ottoman Empire. Yes, right? I mean, it's, where did they get their independence from? We'll get into that later in the show. We have to get to Jordan Peterson. We have to make good time today. We got to make good time today. All right, let's watch over here. This young lady out of my hometown of Miami doing a big no-no on the Independence Day of this great ally.
In a WhatsApp group chat of about 215 students, where students were discussing an event that was to take place Friday at the Ocean Bank Complex.
I saw Marco Rubio speak here in 2016. I saw him speak here when he was running for president. I saw him deliver his resignation, his I'm not going to the convention. And it was very, very interesting to watch because it was a lot of older Cubans and young Hasidic Jews here. And they were like, Marco, please don't drop out. I was getting community service hours, so I was doing the phone bank for him. What did he want me to do, dude? I knew he wasn't going to win. You want me to go phone bank for who? For Hillary Clinton? Oh, I'm sorry I didn't phone bank for Hillary Clinton. She would have won Florida if I had phone bank for her. Fuck you. Anyway, I was phone banking because I needed community service hours, and I saw him do his resignation speech here. It was pretty crazy. This is at FIU, my alma mater.
Application center on campus to make their capstone presentations. An FIU police officer read some of the statements in court.
The exact words utilized was, there's going to be a bomb in the Ocean Bank Convocation Center, and it's going to be at Jonathan's fault, one of the members in the chat.
7 News obtaining some bits of that chat. It seemed the student wanted the event.
Let's be clear here. All right, this is obviously a joke. All right, listen, I'm not going to defend this. This is not, you shouldn't post this in a public group chat or any group chat. Listen, man, some fruit picking wisdom. In Venezuela, they say the fish dies by its mouth. Now, that was true before, because if you talked mad shit, you'd get in trouble. Now we have to think like lawyers. You don't write any of this stuff down. This is insane. Why would you say this? People cannot see the joke into it. This is not, obviously, it's kind of funny. It's kind of, but you can't say that written down.
Cool it with the anti-Semitic remarks.
How are we supposed to know that this is a joke when we're reading it? This is like whenever you see a court case and they're reading someone's text, that's why it's always embarrassing.
Event rescheduled and wrote, quote, Netanyahu, if you can hear me, drop some bonbons for us capstone students in Ocean Bank Convention Center. Other students wrote they didn't take that text lightly. She later in the chat wrote,
whoa, thank you, love is a 4-letter word. Happy birthday. You are a friendly man and a manly friend. Wishing you the best of your life. I really appreciate that. How are you doing? This is so nice. Thank you, guys. You don't have to do this. I hope I wasn't soliciting by letting you guys know what my birthday was, but I really appreciate it. Helps the show keep the lights on. It helps us out, man. There's a lot that goes into a show like this. Absolutely. I'm thinking of doing some upgrades. I don't know if we should build a physical set. I was thinking of getting this Nagai painting printed. I was thinking of doing that. And maybe we could have an oscilloscope in the background. They're like $30 on Craigslist. You know, the ones that I think that'd be cool. But I'm like, are we there yet? I think we need to get to 2.5K subscribers first, because that's when YouTube really starts to shine on you, you know? But that stuff helps plan the show, man. It helps pay for everything. So I appreciate everyone that is tuning in. And I appreciate you love. I gave everyone 2 air horns as well. Appreciate you big time. Appreciate all you guys. Let's continue.
Quote, I wrote a dumb joke that should not have been made.
I can understand your position, Miss Corey, and you're saying this.
Oh, you're a lady, Miss. Your love is a 4. I didn't know that. I'm sorry. Maybe that is me being a sexist. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We have ladies in the chat. I appreciate the ladies in the chat. Thank you so much. We have a couple ladies in the chat. Actually. In this show, we attract everyone. We attract like Groypers, communists, ladies, gentlemen. Sure, we have beautiful transgender people, gay people, straight people, New Yorkers. We attract everything over here. My name is Jen. Appreciate you, Jen. If you don't mind, I'll call you that. So it's easier whenever you send a chat.
This is a joke, but to an objective person, it's not a joke, and there would be enough for probable cause. I'm not saying it's enough for beyond a reasonable doubt. I don't know what the state's going to be able to prove at trial, but for purposes of this hearing, I believe there is enough for probable cause.
This is a waste of resources in the state. I really am amazed at this, man. Like this, I have no problem with the Jewish people. I really don't. But this is where you go like, this is a little sensitive. This is a little bit sensitive. It's clearly an internet joke. But more importantly, I'll never forget this story 2 years ago. I think it was 2 or 3 years ago. Maybe even more at this point, man. This father, let me pull it up for you, man, because this lives rent-free in my head. Miami Beach, father shot in head, psychedelics. Look, you'll never, when I show you this, you're never going to forget this. Look at this. This is insane. Okay, this guy here, no, this is wrong. This is not the right one. This guy here, this gentleman here, I guess we could be insult him. shot a tourist in Miami Beach with a gun in front of his family. I don't want to show his picture. I want to show the picture of the victim because it's just fucked up, dude. Like, why would I don't want to do this. Here, look at this. I think this is the young man who was shot in front. And I'm not doing some arena thing, like some sort of thing to like piss you off and be like, oh, like we ain't, this is not a racist show. Yes, the assailant was black and the victim was white. Absolutely. But this is like this poor guy who was shot with his family, in front of his family, eating on Ocean Drive. I wouldn't be caught dead eating on Ocean Drive, personally. I wouldn't be caught dead because it's terrible. Please don't go to Ocean Drive. It just smells like marijuana, and it's just the worst. Nothing against people who smoke weed, really, but it just smells like it everywhere. Marijuana and piss. Shot dead in front of his wife and child, and the assailant said, I was high on mushrooms. That's why I did it. Why was this person allowed to be outside of a prison? If we're going to have prison, we might as well use it. And when I see after DeSantis put in these anti-Semitism laws, and look, I understand the Jewish people, maybe they're more sensitive. I don't know, dude. I'm not this sensitive. And it's okay. Maybe you're sensitive. I'm not that sensitive. People insult me based on my ethnicity all the time. I don't cry about it. I'm not saying that's better. Sticks and stones to some people, other people don't. I've met a lot of Jewish people that are not this sensitive, and then I met some a lot that are sensitive, so I guess they're sensitive. But you're just wasting everyone's time with this stuff. This girl was obviously not literally asking Benjamin Netanyahu to deliver a payload in Miami. I don't even think that's possible. I don't think they have the range to do that from Israel to Miami. I don't think it's possible. I just don't understand. I don't understand it. What a waste of our time. Let's continue. We have to show this as well. This is Javier Milei. This is why the Goyim have gone insane. It is why in the segment, Javier Milei, who is a fellow Gentile of mine, and is purportedly the president of Argentina, how do you have this published? I just don't understand how, at a time where this man is such a clown, and I'm not doing any dog whistles here. There are so many things wrong with this. There is so many. Listen, man. I know some people are like, oh, this wall, like it's if you kiss the wall, it's bad. Shout out to AA. Honestly, I don't even know what the fuck this wall is, dude. I learned about this in like 7th grade in French class. We were learning about Jerusalem. I don't know what the Wailing Wall is. I don't know what they're doing there. Never been to Jerusalem. I would love to go. Why are you wearing a leather jacket in a religious? This guy is the biggest clown to have ever lived. And secondly, at a time where I'm being told, my producer's telling me right now, anti-Semitism, according to Barry Weiss, the very beautiful Barry Weiss, is at an all-time high. Understood. Why would you publish this picture? Why would you allow yourself to be You're the president of Argentina. I don't understand it. Only someone like Javier Milei, only a goy, brother, a goy. Technically. And OBS disconnected. And OBS reconnect. All right, let's move on from this topic. Are we back? Please tell me if we're back. Do we have a delay or something? Okay, no, we don't have a delay. All right, everyone, let's move on. I had to show you this. A lot of people online are making fun of this TV show, Euphoria. I'll admit, I watched Euphoria back in the day. Not because I liked it, but because I like to torture myself. I used to watch the nightly show with Larry Wilmore. I used to watch, I watched Bill Maher. You should be watching Bill Maher. I watched Euphoria. I watched Succession, hated it. I watch whatever is most popular at the time in order for me to be aware of what the normie, what the fellow goy.
I can't stand these fucking people, man. The joke is becoming a reality. Every day I hate one more person. They drive me crazy, man.
Is going to be obsessed with, okay? And this scene went viral from Euphoria, and people were making fun of this scene, but I have to show you this because I gave this lesson on the show months ago, and I think it's time for a refresher because people were making fun of this scene, but I think it's very good to watch this scene from the Goyslop show, Euphoria.
Miss Penzler? Hi, I'm Maddie Perez. I read your Wall Street Journal profile, and I want to work for you.
Oh, I appreciate that, but I'm not currently hiring.
I know you're thinking, you're like, oh, this is going to be boomer advice about how to get a job, blah, blah, blah.
Hiring.
I know I'm not what you're looking for. I didn't go to USC. I didn't even apply to college. My parents were immigrants. I know my generation's entitled, but I don't believe anybody owes me anything. I'm not a victim. I won't be an HR nightmare, and I believe in capitalism.
Well, that's refreshing.
Now, she received... Well, let's finish it out. I just want to make sure we don't get cut off for copyright.
Miss Penzler's office, Maddie speaking. Please hold. It's Annie.
She gets hired from this, okay? She gets hired. And people are like, how my parents think you get a job in 2026. Man, shut up.
Shut up, man. Man, listen. You ain't got to say. Listen.
You need to be reading between the lines. I just don't understand. If you have no money...
I can't eat. I'm broke, nigga. I'm broke.
If you are broke, you might want to consider what is being said here, okay? This is, again, I have to reassert it. Boomers, in particular, but all people was the addendum that Mr. Elu added. We'll call this one of the laws of the show. This is a kingly law. People do not give things to people who deserve them. People give things to people who reflect their values. This is absolutely how you get a job in the big 2026. By reflecting someone's values back to them, especially if they make a hiring decision. Now, you may not like the job because if you're reflecting these values to go work at the boomer-owned steel mill, he is going to tell you that you're going to be making $8.50 an hour, and you're going to say that's not enough to live. And he'll say, when I was working back in '73, we used to make $1.50 an hour, and you're going to go, yes, I know, but this is not 1973. You may not like the job, but this is actual actionable advice. If you want to become a slave and get a slave job, where's the slave clip? Then this is the humiliation ritual you should go through. And people are like, this doesn't work. I won't get a job. You will get a job. You will not like it, but you will get a job. I'm just tired of people. Sometimes you need to pull yourself up by the jockstrap, dude. And if you don't want to do this humiliation ritual, then go do something else, because you can do something else. You can do anything. You can start Baudrillard maxing, bro. You could start a tour company that called Bullshit Tours where you give people fake history. I would love to do that. People would pay for that. You start telling them, oh yeah, this is a spot where Paris Hilton sucked off Kim Kardashian. And they're, what? That's crazy. You'll go viral on Instagram. Everyone will be on your tour, and it'll be called Bullshit Tours. It'll go viral. TMZ will take the tour. You go do that. But if not, you're gonna have to do this. You're gonna have to do this. You could open a bagel shop and call it Bagels and Boobs, and it'll just be Hooters for the 21st century. Woman in giant with giant tits in a bra serving bagels. You're going to get all the boomer money doing that, but you refuse to do it, and all you want to do is complain. So yes, this is good advice. This is actually good advice if you want to go through the humiliation ritual. You should, if you want to go through it, then go through it properly. This is the right way of doing it. When you have unprotected sex, you put on a condom. when you are about to get fucked and get a job that a boomer is going to pay you $8 for, this is how you do it. All right. All right, let's continue. Oh, Ephra says, I had no idea what the fuck was that show until I heard the conservatives talking about it. Dude, conservatives love that show. I don't know why conservatives love that show. I don't know why they love that show, but they really do. All right, it's almost 11 o'clock and we have a lot of stories, so we're going to have to end Goyim Watch there, skip Slave Watch, and get to the story. It is a bad show. I do agree, Ephra. I've watched it before in the past. I was very uncomfortable with it. No, let's not start with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, wake up. No, we're going to start with Trump and religion. Listen, it was a bad show, absolutely. I'm actually trying to watch... Yo! I hate everything. Dude, I need to add a bunch of people to the chat, to the Chiron. Thank you, sir. I appreciate the super chats. Where's our air horns? One more time for the man who refuses to stop calling me Dave Smith, along with Ephra. Appreciate the super chat, sir. Thank you very much. You guys help keep the lights on around here. And you know what? I'll plug it here. Guys, the Patreon is $5 a month. Let me do the math for you here. You get extra content, and you can actually get in and tell me what you want to do. That is 16 cents, rounding up 17 cents a day. You can also get the membership on YouTube, but the Patreon is slightly better. The YouTube one, I put new stickers for anyone with the membership on YouTube. You should check it out. 16 cents a day. 17 cents a day. If you get on there, you know, because I know people like sending super chats and all that, but just so you know, because I know how you guys want this to work. You want the money to get to the show so we can use it. I'm not spending this money. We're not billionaires off super chats. We're using this to upgrade the show. And, you know, YouTube takes like fucking 40% of a super chat. Nothing against it. It's a great way of donating money, but the Patreon is in the description and that helps a lot. And it's 17 cents a day, dude. You can feed a starving child in Africa for the cost of sponsoring the King Leo show, but don't feed the child. All right, let's continue. Thank you again. I had everything. Really appreciate it. All right. And you guys get extra content. And also, if we get more people in the Patreon, by the way, because you can see it reflected, I put out a video today. That is because one of our patrons, Ringo Lamb, shouts out to Ringo Lamb. He suggested that whole series, and we're doing it on Patreon and also part on YouTube. So, all right. There we need to get to Pope Leo, the greatest pope to ever live. Never been more proud to be a postmodern Catholic. You have to see this. The Pope is Baudrillard maxing. Absolutely, sir. Let's read through this. We have to read this to the show. The Catholic University can form pioneers of a new humanism in the context of the digital revolution. This is a service to the truth and to all humanity. Without this demanding educational effort, passive adaptation to dominant paradigms will be mistaken for competence and the loss of freedom for progress. All right. Artificial intelligence systems increasingly shape and permeate our mentality and social environments. Like every great historical transformation, this too calls not only for technical confidence, but for a humanistic formation capable of making visible the logic behind economics, embedded biases, and forms of power that shape our perception of reality. Little Gnostic there. Within digital environments, structured to persuade, spitting. Interaction is optimized to the point of rendering a real encounter superfluous. The otherness of persons in the flesh is neutralized and relationships are reduced to functional responses. I'm sorry, is this in French? Because this sounds like Baudrillard himself. Dear friends, you, however, are real persons. What? Creation itself has a body, a breath, a life to be listened to and safeguarded. When simulation becomes the norm, it weakens the human capacity for discernment. As a result, our social bonds close in upon themselves, forming self-referential circuits that no longer expose us to reality. We thus come to live within bubbles, impermeable to one another, feeling threatened by anyone who is different. We grow unaccustomed to encounter and dialogue. In this way, polarization, conflict, fear, and violence spread. What is at stake is not merely the risk of error, but a transformation in our very relationship with truth. Let's hit the dancing dog, brother, for the Pope over here. Where is it?
Heard you
сказать? Что же я хочу сказать?
All of these Pope Benedict fans, please take a big step back. Absolutely sensational.
Sensational.
Take a look. I disagree with the Pope. I have to be honest here with my Pope over here. I don't think there is a real to get back to as a Baudrillardian. However, that's fine. That's fine. The first Pope I've seen in my life start to ask the real questions. Yeah, do you know what Pope Benedict, rest in peace, used to say? He in his Regensburg address, which Peter Thiel loves to shill. Oh, he was in the beginning there was the word, and if there was the word, then that means that logic preceded the world, and it's just, brother, ew.
Brother, what's that? What's that, brother?
Every Pope Benedict, he was a nice man, but he was at the end of the day a conservative, and we cannot mend with it. This is the first Pope I have seen wrestle with this, wrestle like a dragon. This is at least the right questions are being asked, man. At least the right questions. Finally, and one of my favorite accounts on Twitter, Baudrillard is a black Gnostic, came in quoting, brother, this is the man. Listen, man, a lot of people are, Donald Trump, Pope Leo loves crime. Brother, Pope Leo's out here asking if you rather be Cypher or Morpheus. I think I'd rather be Cypher, but that movie is incorrect regardless. This is amazing stuff. Amazing. I am so, when I saw this, I was like, dude, we're always ahead of the curve on this show. I'm not crazy. I'm just a little bit ahead of the curve. Did you call the Pope Baudrillard maxing in the Big 20? I did not call that myself. I did not. But you have to. It's getting weirder and weirder.
I think it's just going to get weirder and weirder and weirder. And finally, it's going to be so weird that people are going to have to talk about how weird it is.
We have a Baudrillardian here. This is the greatest. First Baudrillardian Pope. Shouts out to you, Pope Leo. I appreciate that. Poetic. His name is Pope Leo. All right, let's continue. Speaking of that, we have to get to the rest of the religious stuff. Let's see how Sean Hannity, this pig-headed Irish retard, is he Irish? Where's Sean Hannity from? He has to be Irish. Sean Hannity, where are you from, Sean Hannity? He has to be Irish, brother. He has to be Irish. Son of Lillian and Hugh Hannity. Ireland. Absolutely. He has to be Ireland. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Let's see what he has to say about the Catholic religion before we get to Trump. This Irish guy here.
Now, I do want to shift gears with a message to the Vatican tonight, specifically to Pope Leo, who has openly condemned America's war in Iran while seemingly enjoying a public fight with President Trump. First, let me give some context. Like millions of Americans, I was raised Catholic. I went to Catholic school for 12 years. I even attended a seminary in high school, studied theology, Latin, went to Mass daily. But as of today, I no longer consider myself a Catholic. Where are the pointed words for Iran, this evil regime, the #1 state sponsor of terror, the people that murdered 45,000 innocent protesters? Not a peep from Pope Leo. Iran is now set to, literally have 4 more protesters and hang them and kill them, including a woman. Nothing from Pope Leo. Iran oppresses women. Nothing from Pope Leo. Tortures them, rapes them, kills them. Nothing from the Pope. Iran backs terrorists in Iraq and Beirut who have killed Americans for decades. Nothing from Pope Leo. Iran drops bombs on holy sites and neighborhoods all over Israel, densely populated areas like Tel Aviv.
I'm sorry the Pope isn't Hitler, dude. I'm sorry the Pope isn't, saying what you want him to say politically. This we have to show because of the separation here in terms of Hannity and the rest. I'm sorry, between the Pope and whatever's going on in America. This is I'm sorry the Pope isn't fucking who wants to. I'm sorry the Pope isn't George Bush. What do you want? What do you want? Listen, man, you just become a postmodern Catholic. Why you got to do this whole thing? It's just ridiculous. That takes us to President Trump. President Trump and his spiritual advisor, Paula White, are doing this thing called America reads the Bible, and it's this beautiful, it's just absolutely beautiful because they're going to read the Bible throughout the whole week. Now, this is being, let's first of all, let's be reminded who his spiritual advisor is, Miss Paula White. Let's see how she does her scripture here.
And put my name, mark it out and put my name in there. It's important to write in your Bible. So right here, I'm Jeremiah 46, the word of the Lord which came to Jeremiah. I'd cross it out. I'd write Paula, just like that. And I'd look at it. Now I know literally how to study this, but I was taking this saying, God, what is this saying to me? What are you speaking to me? And I started with the book of Psalms.
What the hell are you talking about? Crossing out the Bible names and putting your name? What the hell are we talking about? This is Trump's spiritual advisor, dude. I don't get this at all, man. Look, nothing against the Protestants. Nothing against them. You guys work hard or whatever, but what the hell is this? You're crossing out the name in the book and putting in your own name for I don't understand it. I just don't get it. What the hell is this? And this is the president's spiritual advisor, Paula White. I don't understand it. How you doing, Spring? The Book of Palms. Eve says logic is considered a priori because its principles and validity are established through reason alone, independent of sensory experience or empirical evidence. Even logic, I'm very skeptical of Eve's. Not in this realm, in terms of we have to use logic, obviously, but I am very skeptical of it. I'm skeptical of logic quite a bit, but I don't think that it's... I don't think you're far off. I just didn't think that Pope Benedict... It didn't make a lot of sense to me when he said it. Because he was trying to use this thing to, like, mend relationships with the Islamic world. And I didn't really get it. All right, let's continue. But I appreciate point taken. All right, well, let's watch here the promotion of America Reads the Bible.
America was built on biblical foundations. This April, we're returning to those roots by reading the Bible publicly, Genesis all the way to Revelation in Washington, D.C. I hope you'll sign up to attend or watch the live stream with us.
I don't want to sound like a lib cuck or something like that. I really don't. But isn't this against the separation of church and state? I really think that this is, because it's one thing to have like a Bible quote or something in a speech, you know, that's just how it works. This, I don't understand what they're doing here. I don't really get it. Why are they? But it gets a little crazier, okay? So we're going to look at this, how it happened or whatever. But to be clear, this is the America Reads the Bible. Let's go to their page here. They made a page for it, obviously. And President Trump is reading the Bible. We're gonna watch him. He did this today. The live reading starts at... This is feeling a little Jim Jonesy, bro. It's like a donate thing. This is the visionary and organizer Bunny Pounds. Bunny Pounds, that's a crazy name. Imagine being called Bunny Pounds. That's wild. Bunny Pounds. And this, I don't understand this. I really don't. Few of our readers, Pompeo's going to read. Hagseth is reading from the Tarantino Bible. Ted Cruz. This page goes on forever. Now, what's interesting is that they're hosting this event at the Museum of the Bible. And if you're not aware of that, that's fine. I didn't know about the Museum of the Bible. Let's look at this. This is the Museum of the Bible. I read about this today because I was like, what the hell is this? I've never heard of the Museum of the Bible. Okay. The Museum of the Bible is this museum in D.C. where they're full of artifacts here. You see the world of Jesus, Bible in America, the history of the Bible. And what's interesting is this was founded by the founder of Hobby Lobby, who is very Christian. I remember back during the Obama days, he got in trouble because he didn't want to provide birth control. What is so odd about this museum is that it's full of ancient artifacts. And there was even a scandal back in the day, which you might remember, where Hobby Lobby was doing international trafficking of Christian, like this kind of shit, like ancient stuff, ancient mosaics and artifacts and pottery. And an employee saw it and he reported them. And it seems like they were buying looted material from Iraq by ISIS to put in this museum. And eventually the owner of Hobby Lobby had to return it. This is, dude, I don't understand this at all. I really don't. Efra says, I hate America and I hate white people.
You are fighting against America and you hate white people.
Look, I don't. I really don't. I don't have a problem with spirituality, whatever. That's fine, But this is something. This is really something. I don't understand what the point of this is, really. Aren't we in a war? I was told we're in a war. How are we doing this during the war? And they're scheduling this. The live reading has a timer. The schedule, attend. Yes, this is at the Museum of the Bible, at the Capitol Turnaround Museum of the Bible. If you're in DC, you should probably go to this. But let's see how it is. So this is President Trump reading the Bible today. Let's watch him a little bit here.
Thus Solomon finished the house of the Lord and the king's house, and all that came into Solomon's heart to make in the house of the Lord. And in his own house he prosperously effected. And the Lord appeared to Solomon by night and said to him, I have heard your prayer and have chosen this place to myself for a house of sacrifice. If I shut up.
Now, for anyone who's not biblically inclined, like myself, I looked this up. This is about the third temple, which for anyone who's not aware, the second temple was destroyed by the Romans or something like that. Do you want to get the third temple is this thing that they're trying to build in Israel, and if they build it, then the world ends or something like. I don't know how it works. Okay, I don't know how it works. The evangelicals want them to build it because it's going to end the world for some reason, but they're not anti-Semitic, despite the fact that that would imply that all the Jewish people die. And the Muslims don't like it because they have a mosque there and they want that mosque to be there and they think it's going to bring the Antichrist back. And the other Christians don't like it because they're not supposed to. I don't know what the hell they're talking about, brother. I really have no idea what they're talking about. I thought it was just about not eating fish on Fridays or something. He's reading the third temple script. So, this is. Does anyone understand what this is? I just feel like this is designed to make the country go crazy because all the liberals are going to hate this. You know that Tucker Carlson and these guys, oh, thank you, ADC, for the 5 gifted memberships. I appreciate that, and that is a donation. Appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you very much. One more time for him. There are new stickers, sir, so I hope that the members enjoy. I don't know if anyone's biblically inclined here or something, but this is obviously going to piss off the whole Democratic Party and half the country. It's going to piss off the Tucker wing because he's reading this scripture from the third temple. So they're talking about red heifers and building something. If they build this temple, does Tucker Carlson sincerely believe the world is going to end? I don't know if I'm a bad believer because of that, but I don't think the world's going to end if they build the third temple. I'm not saying they should or shouldn't. I don't know how property rights work in the Middle East. What kind of law does Israel have? It's not Sharia. But I don't understand. Anyway, that was him reading. I wanted to show you here. This is the Museum of the Bible, what it looked like when he was reading. And I'm not trying to dunk on him for crowd size or anything.
Thus Solomon finished the house of the Lord and the king's house, and all that came into Solomon's heart to make in the house of the Lord.
So there's like 20 people in here. It's half empty. It's like 3/4 empty.
And the Lord appeared to Solomon by night and said to him, I have heard your prayer and have chosen this place to myself for a house of sacrifice. if I shut up heaven, that there be no rain.
And what I don't understand is, if you're a Protestant, isn't the idea that you have a direct relationship with Christ? Now that's evangelical. You have like a, I'm sure that evangelicals are the people here. I'm sure it's evangelicals. Why do you get any extra value out of the president reading it versus you? Is there anything, like, is there a cherry on top type thing with this? Or if someone can explain it to me, I would appreciate it, because it's like, I understand if you're like, oh, J.K. Rowling is reading Harry Potter and you're a millennial, you're like, oh, I have to go listen to her or something. But this is the Bible. It's not Paul who's reading it. It's President Trump. That's why it feels a little culty and weird. That's just, all right, this is crazy time to be alive, man. Crazy time. All right. That's our update. If you're in DC, man, get over there and enjoy the Bible thing. Eve says, a third temple script. I think Gemini can handle that, sir. A real politician will not generate on Gemini. Wait, what do you mean, Eves? What do you mean, Eves? Please explain a little bit more. ACT says they always forget to mention that Solomon being a bad king. Iron says, I'm pro third temple. Let's just build it already and see what happens. Dude, but I was even thinking about this when I first heard of this third temple. I actually heard it from a Jewish friend who told me, he was like, dude, I'm really nervous because they're going to rebuild the third temple. And I was like, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And he goes, well, if they rebuild it with these red heifers or something, then it ends the world. And I was like, aren't you an atheist? Do you believe that? And he was like, no, it's not if I believe it. I just know it's going to piss off a bunch of Muslims and a bunch of Christians, and then they're going to fight each other. And I was like, well, if they make it in VR, like if they do like augmented reality where the third temple's supposed to be, and you put on your glasses, like your metaverse glasses, and you see isn't that building that? I'm not trying to sound like legalistic, but wouldn't that be building the third temple? So isn't it building the third temple already in our minds? If people have already built it, they made the plans for it and everything. What is going to happen? Why would rebuilding this temple cause the world to end? And if this is the only thing holding us back from ending the world, what does that say about everything? If that's literally true, if they rebuild this temple and the world ends, what the hell does that say about anything? I don't even understand what that would imply. Oh, Eve says for videos before I was going to do. Oh, gotcha, sir. Gotcha. I don't know. I don't understand this third temple thing. But, and I spoke to another Jewish guy about it, and he said that they're not supposed to rebuild the third temple. And he told me it's just these like crazy Orthodox guys that want to rebuild it. But the book says that we shouldn't rebuild the third temple. And this guy was even skeptical on the whole Israel project. He was like, do we do Israel? It doesn't really make sense because we're not supposed to do this. And I was like, what the hell are you talking about, man? I don't understand. I want to get through the whole rigmarole. I just don't get it. All right, let's continue. Let's continue. Let's get to Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan.
Today I'm pleased to announce historic reforms to dramatically.
We just saw Tucker Carlson apologize like less than an hour ago. Okay. Now we have to see someone who has not apologized, who is Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan, we've been following him on this show, talking about how President Trump is evil, how President Trump is the worst guy in the world because of Iran, even though he had him on for 3 hours and couldn't ask him a damn question. Anyway, seems like all is forgiven, brother. He's in the White House. This happened on the 18th, 5 days ago. Okay. So watch here.
Today I'm pleased to announce historic reforms to dramatically accelerate access to new medical research and treatments based on psychedelic drugs. In many cases, these experimental treatments have shown life-changing potential for those suffering from severe mental illness and depression, including our cherished veterans. Our veterans are having a tremendous hard time. The suicide rate, we have it down a little bit, but they are having a hard time. And I got a call from a number of people, including...
So my understanding is that this is a legalization of ibogaine. for anyone that's not aware, and I learned this from a buddy of mine who's big into the conspiracy stuff, okay? But he's really smart. He doesn't bullshit you. His stuff is usually on point. Ibogaine is this drug that is given to people to get off of other drugs. And it's not like methadone or anything, because what Ibogaine does, in theory, is that it gives you an out-of-body experience where you get to watch yourself and see how you're destroying your life. And when you do this, it shows you that you should get off drugs, okay? My buddy told me that this Ibogaine stuff is true, absolutely. And he has seen it work, but he told me that the way that it's used in Mexico, because every clinic was over the border before this, and I assume after this they're still going to be over the border because it's cheaper, is run by some sort of John Kiriakou Fed.
Do you waterboard him? Do you sleep deprive him? Do you put him in a cold cell? Do you beat him? Do you put cockroaches on him? Do you put hummus up his ass?
And he told me that he has seen people get addicted to Ibogaine as an emotional catharsis experience. And it is not designed, but it can be used for some sort of like mind control thing. He's not a schizo dude. This is a good buddy of mine. And I was always like, okay then, fuck, that sounds kind of scary. But I'm sure it kind of works. Okay. Yeah, I see, wow, we got a lot of people chiming in here. J-Boss says, Ibogaine. ACT says, I think you should watch the Marcus videos. Marcus is great, dude. I watched them. Hey, have you kept up with him at all? Do you know where he is nowadays? But yes, you know what? I'll give them a rewatch just for you, sir. Because I like listening to them as I was falling asleep, actually. J-Boss says, Ibogaine is super important. No, I know it's supposed to be good, but I can understand why this gives you a certain catharsis that you get addicted to, like being a rageaholic or something, right? And furthermore, I would say, because I see J-Boss saying it gets you off other addictive stuff, this would be off-label prescription. But I know, because I have friends who have done it already, that GLP-1, otherwise known as Ozempic, has a similar effect. It has been used off-label to get people to stop being alcoholics and drug addicts. And I think that it's less like mind hacky than Ibogaine, you know? And everything says, bro really got Joe to forgive him with psychedelic drugs, the most Rogan thing I've ever heard. The thing is, on that too, I thought, and then maybe this is wrong, okay? Maybe this is wrong. But Donald Trump will not even allow his children to get a tattoo or smoke a cigarette. But he's going to legalize a psychedelic drug for the rest of the country. I'm a little suspicious. I'm a little suspicious of this. Like, I am, maybe I'm just a little bit skeptical. You know, I'm not trying to be like, but why are you prescribing this to me? And you would never use it yourself. You don't even drink. You don't even drink. Everything says, so I can see myself goon. It will show you yourself gooning. Absolutely. I wonder what would happen to Dave Smith if he took Ibogaine. Would he just see himself reading Rothbard and quoting Mises? Ephra says, remember when Tucker talked shit about Trump, but was there before the start of Iran War 2.0 special operation? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Remember when Tucker Carlson caused the lockdown of the whole world when he was in Mar-a-Lago a day before the shutdown? That was Tucker Carlson. So I just don't buy it. Dude, by the way, this, I am going to add a call-in portion to the show, I think. But I want to be at like very coast-to-coast Art Bell. I want to have two. I want to have one where we like do schizo calls. And I want people to tell me real or fake. Like I want someone to call in and be like, King Leo, I can't tell you much about this, but to the King's protest. And I'm like, why are you whispering? I'm whispering because I'm being held against my will. I found that advising people at the King's protest. I want to do that. I want to do like schizo call. You can make them up. It'd be funny regardless, but I'd like to get some real ones. Like Art Bell, you know, getting crazy people on coast to coast. But then also just like, would be fun to do like a two-way thing. I'm getting it sorted out so we could do it. All right. Let's continue here. Let's continue. Because we have to get through this.
The great Joe Rogan, and he said, we have to do something about this. And I looked into it. I called Bobby, I called Oz, I called Marty and Jay, and it was uniform support.
Now, here's Joe Rogan. He has to be wearing stilts because Joe Rogan's like 5'3". And he's 6'2", apparently, RFK Jr. Or he's standing on a little box or something. But you get the gist. What we want to see is Joe Rogan speaking here. Eve says, there used to be a YouTube channel where guys used to smoke bufo. The frog? The toad. That's the DMT stuff. Yeah, dude, people used to do all kinds of wild shit on YouTube. They really did. So let's watch Joe Rogan here talk a little bit.
I want to tell everybody how this happened. I sent President Trump some information. We have a gigantic opiate problem in this country, obviously. In 2024, more than 80,000 people died of overdoses. It's a horrible number. And there's more than 5 million people that are addicted to opiates right now in this country. With one dose of Ibogaine, more than 80% of people are free of that addiction. With 2 doses, it's more than 90%. I sent him that information. The text message came back, sounds great. Do you want FDA approval? Let's do it. It was literally that quick. These drugs are illegal not because they're harmful. They're illegal because of the 1970 Controlled Substances Act that was passed by the Richard Nixon administration. They did it to target the civil rights movement and the anti-war movement. It's not because these drugs harm people. And for 56 years, we've lived under those terrible conditions. We're free of that now. We're free of that now. Thanks to all these people that we see next to me, and thanks to President Trump.
What are we playing? You know what I'm going to play.
Oh, coons, we want to have fun. Oh, coons, we want to have fun.
You were just talking shit, motherfucker. You were just talking shit. You were just talking shit. And I get it. Some people are going to be like, oh, you have to be pragmatic. No, you don't. No, you don't. Because he is saying that President Trump lied to the American public, got them involved in a war that is about to end the world because of nuclear weapons. And he is, just being taken advantage of by Israel or whatever. And he lied to him. But when they come a-calling, he will do this. And I just don't get it. I really don't respect it. I don't respect it, okay? Cooning, lending his image to this. If you're really that mad, then I need to see the Tucker thing. Otherwise, anything Joe Rogan says is complete and total bullshit. It is complete and total bullshit. If you can get brought on board with one of these, then you are full of shit. And this applies to Democrats too, man. Like, this applies the same way. I hate seeing people who lie like this. So you do not hate President Trump, because if you hated him, you wouldn't have taken the phone call. This is bigger than me. Obviously, it's Joe Rogan. He's like 5'3". Everything's bigger than him. Regardless. And I'm not making fun of short people. I'm making fun of Joe Rogan. Short people are okay. He's 5'3". It is bigger than you. Yes. But why did you pick up the phone then? Why did you? I'm not that tall either. I'm 5'9". All right, let's continue. Here today, he had on an expert to discuss this. And the expert was another comedian. Yay! Yay!
You can't keep getting away with this! You can't keep getting away with it!
More comedians! Yay! More comedians!
That's right, run.
He had on a Puerto Rican comedian on top of that. Great stuff. Great stuff. To talk about this appearance at the White House.
So you saw that thing that I had to do at the White House the other day?
The thing I had to do at the White House. Do you see how removing responsibility from himself? This is how you know this man is a snake, dude. Like, he's a snake. You're a snake. You had to do it. Everything is a choice. Everything's a choice.
So you saw that thing that I had to do with the White House the other day?
I did see it.
Yeah.
Yeah. People are pissed.
Who's pissed?
I don't know. People online.
What, because I was at the White House?
Yeah, they're like, yo, Joe, you can't be at the fucking White House, Joe. You said you were fucking politically...
Homeless. I am.
Homeless.
He joked about it. He called me a liberal during the whole thing. He's like, Joe, he's very liberal.
This level of grift is just, it's unacceptable, man. It's unacceptable. It is unacceptable. Effer says, I'm not against potential psychedelic treatments to treat drug addiction, but I think psychedelic treatment is not for everyone, potentially dangerous. It is absolutely dangerous. Marijuana is dangerous as well. Marijuana, a lot of people, dude, it's like a 50-50 to get psychosis from marijuana. So, psychosis-induced, marijuana-induced psychosis is like, it happens, man. And I'm not one of these anti-drug guys. I don't care. You know, I'm kind of anti-weed, but I'm pro everything else. That's because I saw weed make a lot of people like lazy and slobbish from my generation, you know. People ended up fucking up their heads. Not even as a gateway drug. They just said that was the only thing they did and it made them retarded. But I've seen a lot of people, especially older people, that do fine with weed, but you know, I've never seen cocaine kill anyone, you know. But which is ironic, but don't do cocaine. It's not good for you. But yeah, I feel I don't know. I don't think that I fucking go heavy, bro. My biggest one was 12 grams of fucking mushrooms, dude. And I did it where it was legal in Oakland. In California, bro, that shit was crazy. We ate 12 grams by accident, me and my producer. Brother, that was insane. You know, it was a crazy time. I have never felt that insane in my life. That was crazy. It was a lot of fun. But yeah, there you have Joe Rogan. Yeah, that's enough. That's enough. Anyway, obviously we have the great memes here. Absolutely. Joe Rogan standing on the desk. Absolutely great stuff. Absolutely sensational.
Sensational.
Absolutely sensational. All right, we have to get to Jordan Peterson. Senor Jordan Peterson. Is Jordan Peterson alive? Is Jordan Peterson? All right. In the chat, please, everyone here. 1's in the chat if Jordan Peterson is alive. 2's in the chats if he's dead. Please, I have to take a survey here. 1 if he's alive. 2 he's dead. I need to know. What do you think? And we'll do it again after this video. Is Jordan Peterson alive? 1 he's alive. 2 he's dead. Eve says alive. Okay. Come on. We need to know. What's our tally here? I need to know. Is he alive or dead? I'm voting 2. I'm typing 2, man. I'm typing 2 in the chat. 2 in the chat. J Boss says 1. Wow, he's alive. Oh, I hate everything says 3. Okay, so all of a sudden that's 60.
These fucking assholes! The fuck is their problem, man?
Dude, I'm turning everyone Latino here, man. Like, we can't take anything seriously. You guys are all becoming Venezuelans. You just can't take anything seriously. They can't. This is literally, this chat is becoming Venezuelans. This is how we are in our country. This is why the country sucks. No, but it's great for botulism. Absolutely. 69. I really didn't see that one come. All right. But I see Effer said 1. I had everything. 1 was 6, 7. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Seems like it's mixed. Let's watch here his daughter. Before we watch her. All right. We do this every single time. Mikhaila Peterson. Seems like in this video, she took it a little easy on the ice in the beginning, okay? Do her hands come up at some point? Probably. But yeah, look at this. Look at this. Less ice than the last video. A lot more humble. Just a cardigan over her sweater. Over her little thingy here, her little thingy. Very, very, you know, you still got to have them those diamond earrings here. But they're covered by the hair. Obviously, here we see the lamb, which she has every time, you know, because she's innocent. This is important. We have to be aware that she's innocent. And the rule of thirds here. A lot of darkness here. But we have the lamb here. So we know Mikhaila has a dark side, and a light side to her, okay? Being framed between this giraffe and this tree. What does she have to say here about her father, who may or may not be alive?
Hey guys, this is a video update on Dad's health, as well as a much longer portion of information about what he's suffering from, what a lot of people are suffering from, unfortunately, and what my experience with these issues was. These updates are not fun for me. They're really stressful, And I would have updated you guys sooner, but he's still been really sick and he got worse over the last few months. And I'm 25 weeks pregnant.
Oh, never
And I
mind.
wasn't
A
able to
lot
record
of ice on the ear. Have you noticed? A lot of ice, more than just one. 3 things there, more than that's at least that's $25,000 of ice.
anything without weeping the whole time until this week, apparently. And it stresses out my whole family to talk about it online. And there's no point in adding stress to an already stressful situation, except that because we're public, Dad in particular, it's also
No, I guess I was wrong. The other hand is full of rings.
stressful not talking about it because then rumors get started and then that's all people wonder about. So here goes. Dad's been suffering from an old neurological injury that's more recently been causing akathisia. Akathisia is the worst thing I've ever seen anyone go through. That sounds dramatic, but it's true. We talked about it in 2020 and 2021 when he experienced it after clonazepam injured him. And I'll explain why it's an injury in a bit. I had a very brief experience with akathisia with symptoms that were extremely horrifying, but not as severe as his when I went through antidepressant withdrawal from Lexapro. That was just over 10 years ago.
So last time, to remind you, last time we were told by Mikhaila Peterson, not that it was akathisia. How you doing, Hotep? Hotep and Build. How you doing, Hotep? That it was demons. That it was literal demons that were attacking him. It was demons that were attacking Jordan Peterson. But now we know it's akathisia. I was not aware of akathisia. Let's continue.
And that experience, like the withdrawal period that was really severe, lasted 2.5 years for me where I was nearly disabled. This was kind of before I had a public thing going on.
I'm glad that I hate everything has this to say. So her cheeks, the reason they look a little sunken is partially the shadow, of course, but she's had so much work done that I think she had buccal fat removal, brother. I think that's what it is. Because this looks insane. This face, let's pull up a picture of Casey Anthony, please. Let's pull up a picture of Casey Anthony. Who was the other Munchausen? Who was the Munchausen by proxy woman? Let's look up Casey Anthony. This is what Casey Anthony looks like today. If you don't recall, Casey Anthony murdered her daughter. Her lawyer, who I'm actually a big admirer of because he was just doing his job, I think he kind of admits that she did it, that he held back evidence, which he wasn't obligated to do. I mean, just compare this Casey Anthony face to the Mikhaila Peterson face. You know, just compare these. And no, I'm not saying some child of Yakub thing, you know, like, I'm not saying anything about white people. I'm just saying, look, there are crazy looking woman. What was the Munchausen by what the hell happened here? So stupid. Munchausen by proxy case. There was a case about it. I want to see what the mom wanted to do it. Where is it? Kelly Turner Grant, Lacey Spears, who killed her son. No, there was a famous one, dude. Does someone know it? Does anyone know it? Dee Dee Blanchard, could be that one. Gypsy Rose, that's correct. That's correct. Let's look up a picture of Dee Dee Blanchard. This is the one that had Gypsy Rose messed up. Let's see what she looked like. Let's see what she looked like. So obviously she's a little fat, but look at the eyes here. And then let's look at, this is Casey Anthony's face. And Casey Anthony might be the better alternative because she has had enough work done to look like Mikhaila Peterson. But look at the eyes. Okay, let's look at the eyes. Let's look at this here. And let's look at Mikhaila Peterson. Let's look. This is a crazy. I'm not alleging anything. I'm not a lawyer. This part of the show is scripted. Look at this. Again, I'm not being pedantic. This is back in the day when she did it. This is Mikhaila Peterson now. You know, I think it might be helpful also to pull up a picture of Buffalo Bill from The Silence of the Lambs. Because you might see some of the, you know, this was a very good actor who played Buffalo Bill. Look at the face of Buffalo Bill and compare it to Mikhaila Peterson here. I know you can picture her saying, it rubs the lotion on its skin or else it gets the hose again. You know, like this is This is Jordan Peterson here, and this is Mikhaila Peterson, all right? Looks exactly the same. It is uncanny to see the resemblance. We want to pull up Erica Kirk as well. Let's see. How you doing, Excadriller? Erica Kirk. Let's see Erica Kirk. She does have the air, but Erica Kirk, the reason I want to bring her in here is because she didn't do anything bad, right? She was just grifting, you know. I think this is what Mikhaila Peterson may inspire herself by, you know, the grieving widow. She's using this energy. She's trying to channel it here, but Erica Kirk probably has some real pain, you know. But yes, this is a good point. I just think she looks a lot like Buffalo Bill in Silence of the Lambs. Great movie. This is a great performance. This is a great one. Just so good. Just look, that's Mikhaila Peterson. Brother, this is Mikhaila Peterson. Okay, let's continue. Let's see, watch. Look, the lamb, the Silence of the Lambs. Do you see this? Look at this. She's even giving hints. Where are all the schizos in here to be like, yeah, dude, look, she's saying that she has him tied up in a basement because she has the little lamb. Let me look at the chat. Take the chat. Let me take the chat away. Where is it? Look, there's a little lamb here. She's literally Buffalo Bill.
That's when I just had a blog. I've linked a bunch of papers below about everything I'm going to talk about so that people watching can get scientific background information about what this is, because it's not talked about nearly enough for how catastrophic it is. In my opinion, psych med injuries and psych meds as a whole should be considered a national emergency, given 1 in 6 Americans, or possibly more depending on the stat, is on one of these medications, and long-term use appears to cause mitochondrial dysfunction that manifests as a neurological injury. I'll get into more of that in a bit too. Akathisia is a side effect that's way more common than people know.
Bitch, what are you talking about? Isn't your dad dying? Why are you talking about the rest of America? Aren't you in Canada? This, by the way, dude, this is very, very, listen, there are levels to this. You will notice this. When people remove themselves from a situation, at the most basic, it's kind of like, if you ask your friend, you know, why are you sad? He's like, dude, you know, you get home every day and it's the same thing. The dishes are dirty. You look at your cat, it's fat, and you go, whoa, Bill, the hell are you talking about? You. We're talking about you. You are detaching yourself so that you don't claim responsibility. They teach you this in the hypnotism. You must associate with yourself. Otherwise, you can never make the changes you need. But sometimes people strategically dissociate themselves. They start saying you or them or this and refuse to take any sense of responsibility. That sounds to me like your dad is dying, but you rather talk to me about millions of Americans. My dad were dying. I wouldn't be talking about millions of Americans. I'd be fucking doing John Q shit at the hospital. Fucking like Denzel Washington. They tried to kill my son. You know, that's what I would do. All right, let's continue.
Usually caused by psychiatric medications, although other medications can sometimes cause it. And so can sudden cessation from those medications. That's a huge trigger. So like suddenly stopping one of the medications that can also cause it. And sometimes people with Parkinson's can experience it too. It is intolerable discomfort that makes people want to crawl out of their skin. It's a neurological injury, really. A lot of people don't survive it, and there's no quick fix, although I'll go into how we've dealt with it before. Without videotaping me sobbing, and it seems like a bunch of my sadness this week has turned into anger, which is actually at least more enjoyable for me. But without posting a video of me sobbing, I don't know how to describe how bad it is in words, but I'm going to take a stab at it. You guys could look up videos of other people suffering with it if you want to. It's catastrophic. Before I get into it,
I want to see you sobbing, bitch. And you seem to not be sad enough, honestly. Like, you really don't. And by the way, look, this is not the Candace Owens show. We're not the...
Say the M-word, go on.
We're not Candace Owens over here. It's not the Candace Owens show. But I will admit, this now is just kind of slop because I think she's killing him, and I think we have a right to know what's going on. Allegedly. Dude, I know that you're like, King Leo, this is slop. Normally we do analysis. I know we're kind of analyzing this, but I would be lying to you if I didn't tell you the truth. I am now just invested. There is no proof of life here. And dude, it's making me uncomfortable. Look at this. Let's go on his YouTube channel. He has not uploaded in so long. Look at this. And where is Ben Shapiro? And where are these other people who are supposed to take care of him? Don't they have a financial interest in him being alive? Look at this YouTube channel video. Last video 3 months ago. And it was recorded. Last live 7 years ago. Where the hell is he? So this makes me sick, dude. I really, let's continue.
Let me be super clear.
A J-Boss says, especially in criminal investigations, you'll see that dissociation. Absolutely. And I feel like she's getting ahead of something here. I don't know. I don't know what she's doing here. Why are you making these update videos? Is it because of money? Like, do you get enough impressions to make a shit ton of money? And by the way, let's look at what people are saying. I don't believe a word of this. Something happens. It puts him in a bad light. This is just cover for it. We figured out you were the doctors. Did you Google searches? Disturbing on so many. And look, she's responding. I talk about you in the video. I think I referred to you as morons of the internet. Without meaning to sound rude, he developed an addiction to benzos. These are horrible drugs. And I feel for him and your family, but that isn't unusual unless I misunderstood. Dude, people are starting, even the retards here, are starting to question her. Look at this. People are starting to be confused. They are starting to be... I'm telling you, dude, we may be watching a murder happen in front of us. Straight up, man. Like, dude, I'm not even fucking with you. We may be watching... This is history. There may be a report in a few months that Jordan Peterson has passed on, and people are going to gaslight you and tell you there were no signs, nothing was going to happen. And we're over here saying, dude, even if you think he's alive, man, this is fucking weird behavior. This is weird behavior. J-Boss says, I honestly don't understand how Jordan Peterson could be so naive about prescription drugs. And I don't know either, dude, because his excuse, and I remember because I saw him when he got addicted. I saw him back in 2017. A buddy had an extra ticket to his appearance at the Jackie Gleason Theater in Miami Beach. And I was watching this man and I was like, I have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. It was insane. He was just on this manic episode and Dave Rubin was there.
You can't do it. It's disgusting.
It was disgusting. It was Dave Rubin. And I was watching him and I was like, I have no idea what the hell he's talking about. And everyone here is pretending to know what he's talking about. He's talking about the dragon is in the roof of the house and you have to kill it with a flamethrower for you to go get your wife out of the cave. I'm like, brother, what the hell are you talking about? You used to talk about Pinocchio and shit. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And he started doing benzos so he could sleep during this tour, supposedly. And then supposedly his wife got cancer. So he doubled up. And then he got addicted to benzos. And all the while, you're correct, he is not only a trained physician. I don't think he's a psychiatrist, but he's a trained psychologist. But he's also in Canada, which I assume is a lot more stingy about medication given their socialized system. And that's another layer on this. This sick freak, this sick, ugly freak. Where is the clip? This sick freak.
Disgusting and gross. I mean, he should just be... I don't like ugly, stupid freaks.
This sick freak here, I literally think she's in Canada. This is why we can't have Medicare for all or any of this stuff. Because people like this will be getting all sorts of medical assessments when they're just a goddamn drug addict. This is insane overuse of a system. It's insane. You cannot have nice things because of this. Let's continue. This is just crazy, man. This bitch is crazy. Let's go a little bit ahead.
This really, because I don't want to give it any attention, but some journalist online reached out to me trying to pin Dad's symptoms on stem cell treatments, which is so dumb it's hard to fathom. And I responded, which was stupid. You should just never respond to a journalist. But I was like, hey, I really appreciate you looking into doctors, but like, that's not what's going on with Dad. I'm going to talk about what's going on with Dad. But it just isn't associated with stem cells. And he ignored me. And anyway, that kind of thing is annoying, obviously. So dad had stem cell IVs over the years a couple times to see if they can help with neurological pins and needles and pain and like.
And you know what's really sick is that the last time she gave us one of these updates was between 4 and 6 months ago. And in case you're not aware, the ladies probably are. She has to get filler. She has to get this redone every couple of months. She has to get her nails done. She has to get her hair done for this video. How the hell are you doing this with your dad dying of another insane disease? Listen, man, I understand people push through, especially women. Women are very good at this kind of stuff. However, nails done, bangs on fleek, face full of plastic, makeup done. This was a makeup artist. This wasn't her. This is insane. This is insane.
Sensitivities and things. And I had mentioned in one of my videos that last summer in June, he had a stem cell IV from a specialist. This is a specialist I don't know. He was like hooked up with him from one of his friends, a great specialist, but it's not someone I'm connected to. He stayed in a moldy hotel for that treatment, and that brought back symptoms. It wasn't the stem cell IV. He's had hordes of those. And trying to link the stem cell IV in June to sepsis from pneumonia in October is insane. Anyway, sepsis happens within days of an infection. So not only are we dealing with missing my dad, pregnancy for me, taking care of him, and being really sad, but we also have to deal with morons on the internet. So that sucks.
I don't think that I'm a moron on the internet. I am concerned for her father, and I would like proof of life. And proof of life is not, I'm not being Candace Owens. I'm not telling you that Israeli planes are following her or whatever, or Egyptian planes, whatever she wants to believe. I just want proof of life. I want to know that he's okay. It can even be a hostage type video. What the hell is this bitch's job? What is Mikhaila Peterson? And by the way, we are very respectful on this show. We are feminists on this show. I'm just calling her, we are very confused by this woman here, all right? We call men idiots. We call men everything. We call men cucks on this show, so we're fair. Look at this. What the hell? She doesn't have a wiki page. What is her career? She's a lifestyle and diet blogger. But what did she go to school for? Did she go to school for anything? And look, I'm not being a credentialist. I'm not. I'm really not. I'm just wondering because how is she capable of telling me about any of this stuff? He named her after Mikhail Gorbachev. Brother, dude, that's how you fuck up in life. You name your daughter after Mikhail Gorbachev. What the hell is this, dude? Did she study anything? University degree? I mean, we'll even take the Gemini answer. There was Google ones are usually bad. She did not complete a university degree. Brother, I'm not saying that she's bad. But can you bring a doctor on here, please? We have a doctor explain to us what's going on? I would never explain to you some medical shit because I don't know about this woman is evil.
Problem this year likely was that because we didn't know stress and mold exposure, stress really too, could re-trigger old neurological injuries. It was misdiagnosed a bunch, and then medications and supplements that were used by a few of the doctors in hospitals worsened symptoms. Enough that it got to the point where we were like, oh, we know what akathisia is. Oh no. So now that we know what it is and have proper doctors, it can be carefully healed again, like it has before. And
No.
Shut up. Be quiet before you get exiled.
No. I'm not even reading that. No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. Are you going to say that about Casey Anthony too? No, Ephra. No. Please, no. I think she's dating someone, actually. I really do think Casey Anthony is dating someone. My God, man. My God. Who else would, huh? How about who else? Don't be ashamed. We're already talking about it. Don't be ashamed. Who else would? But Casey Anthony and Mikhaila Peterson, huh? Who else would? She has a boyfriend now. Someone would date her. Yeah, she's dating a married father of 2. Bro, that's crazy. Yo, that's... This guy's dick is taking... Whoa, that's insane. Insane. Would. Oh my God, bro. They would. Dude, look at me. Look at Casey Anthony. Dude, this is crazy. She killed her kid. She straight up killed her kid. He looks just like Mikhaila. Casey Anthony. Bro, dude, we are... All of you... Oh. We need a feminine. We need some feminine. We need some estrogen in the chat. No. 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 Please, no, guy. Oh my God. All right, let's skip ahead. Let's skip ahead. Would.
Meat, which did help.
Oh, she's crying.
But in a really complicated way. Like, people didn't... Who's going to guess that? So it wasn't something you could get rid of from cutting processed foods, for instance. Myself, my dad, my grandpa, my great-grandpa had it. My great-grandpa was left on a doorstep, so I can't imagine he came from a very stable family. Ugh. Okay, I have a Kleenex now.
Also, did you see the body shot? Like, what are we doing here, man? What the fuck are we doing? You know what she's doing. This is open. Look at the spray tan on here. This is sick.
Okay, I have a Kleenex now. So where was I?
Why didn't you have the Kleenex before you started the video? The video's being recorded. Why didn't you just cut instead of standing up? Why you could have cut that part of you standing up and you could have just done a jump cut because you did it other parts of the video.
Depression. So when Dad started to be badly impacted by depression in the 90s, and he said he had it since he was a kid. He was impacted enough that he was having a hard time lecturing. He took an SSRI. We were told it was a genetic serotonin problem, and antidepressants were basically a vitamin for a serotonin deficiency, which is still what people are told, even though that has been completely debunked. And when I started having symptoms when I was a kid of OCD, suicidal thoughts, extreme anxiety, anger, my psychiatrist, who was assigned to kids with autoimmune disorders, like so many people with autoimmune disorders are on psych meds.
Dude, whenever anyone gives you this much detail, it's just crazy. It's just, whenever someone gives you this much detail about something, you should be suspicious.
Not sleeping from a reaction to a preservative called sodium metabisulfite. Dad was prescribed clonazepam. And most of you guys know this. He didn't take it for fun. He took it because he hadn't slept in like 3 weeks. And I know that's true because I had we both ate the same thing that had sodium metabisulfite in it. And I had a similar...
How you doing, Robert? Welcome to the show.
...response, but very horrifying. Less severe, though, where I threw up and then I didn't sleep well for about 3 weeks. And it was horrible, horrible. He was pale, near anaphylaxis, couldn't really...
Also, you know what? I'm glad you say that, everything. If she's pregnant and dealing with this, she shouldn't be making this video. Because when you stress out, if you're pregnant, if you're actually stressed, it hurts the baby. It spikes your cortisol. It gives the baby diseases. Glad to hear, Robert.
Breathe. That was one of those weird allergies that popped up that neither of us had before stopping medication. I didn't have food allergies before stopping those meds. Neither did he. Insomnia so severe you do not sleep can be part of having a psych med-induced neurological injury. Glutamate skyrockets when GABA systems are damaged because GABA is what counteracts glutamate.
You're not a doctor. You're not a doctor. I don't believe you anymore. Last time you said he was being attacked by demons.
Mitochondrial dysfunction. I've linked the papers that manifest as a neurological injury.
What? Let's look at the papers really quick. What the hell is she talking about? People who were harmed by medications they took exactly as prescribed. People who trusted their doctors, followed the instructions. I just have so much trouble with this because he is a doctor. He is a doctor. How do you... I'm not a doctor. I don't take oxycodone because it's addictive. Even if I had intense back pain, I would find an alternative. what the hell is this? Efra says, I'm not saying depression is not real, but once I thought I had depression, then my older brother and dad told me to stop being a little bitch at work. I think no depression so far. I think that melancholy is real, but depression I have some trouble accepting in the way that they talk about it, Efra, too. I also have an issue with that. Because I'm a melancholic person. I have a melancholic disposition. I can't help it, man. Modulartism gets me through the day, but I'm not depressed. Depressed is like it's for gays. See, not for actual gay people. All right? I'm not trying to be Tucker Carlson or anything, but I'm just saying, like, isn't that a little gay being depressed? And it's okay to be depressed, but it's kind of gay. I had everything says maybe they don't want to say because they don't want Jordan Peterson to become a meme like the Immortal Kirk. That's crazy. Oh, Robert, thank you, sir. Thank you for the super chat, sir. Wow, you guys are so nice, man. I appreciate everyone who donated tonight. Thank you guys. This was the best birthday I've ever had. Very good birthday. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Robert. Once again, we gave everyone 2 horns tonight. Thank you, Robert. I appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much. No mess. Really appreciate you. That is a good point. Maybe it's to prevent him from being a meme. I don't fucking know, dude. This is so weird. What? Thank you, Rob. Appreciate that, sir. Very, dude. I was stuck. I had to do a lot of stuff yesterday for the birthday. It was a pain, but it was still a good time. I watched the Final Destination movie. I was watching all of them. I hadn't seen them. The final one, dude. Speaking of sick people, any Final Destination fans in here? I watched them all within a month. The last one, my favorite character is this black guy called Bloodworth. I don't know what he's called. Dude, the guy had stomach cancer in the last movie, in real life, and he just looks terrible. It's so sad to see. So sad. What are you talking about, CCTV? What can't you follow? Let me know, sir. Let's continue. Let me know.
And a ketogenic diet gives mitochondria an alternate fuel that helps them heal and helps them work, which is why it's so massively useful and why we're just eating meat. I'm going to put this
meat again and again with the meats, the gabagool. Let's see the conclusion.
-harm.com for more information on how to safely taper to avoid neurological injury and to read other people's experiences. So thank you guys for listening and thank you for the support. And I'm really sorry for anyone else. Damn.
Oh, thank you, Robert. Again, another super chat. Let's go. Happy birthday. I appreciate you, sir. This is a crazy stream. Everyone donated. I appreciate everyone that donated, guys. I really appreciate it. Sincerely, that's awesome. You guys made the great birthday. It's me and Dave Smith for having a great birthday. Thank you, Robert. I really appreciate that, sir. Appreciate all you guys for making this a great day.
By these horrible medications, but there's hope. You can recover with time. Ketogenic diets are unbelievably helpful, and it's about avoiding making it worse because bodies and brains do want to recover. So thanks for listening, and I'll see some of you on my podcast.
I don't think I had any happiness at all for 3 years, pretty much. And it was dire. Well, my wife, she spent a year hovering on the brink of death in a variety of different ways. Before that, my daughter had catastrophic health problems, which have mostly resolved. And then I got extremely ill. So we've been in, and at the same time, we were facing.
This is like an exculpatory thing that he said it. He said it too. You know what I mean? He said it too. So that everything she says in the video is true because he said it a few years ago. I don't know.
Social pressure of like an unparalleled magnitude. People trying to, bring this enterprise to a halt, I suppose, if that's probably the right way to think about it. Most of that time, I was hoping that I would die. I've been grateful for the good things that have happened to me, but I don't think I was grateful enough before just for mundane normality, Yeah. And, you think you don't have everything you could have, and perhaps that's true, but if you can sit down and breathe, there's lots of people who don't have that.
Yeah. Is this what working for the Daily Wire does to a motherfucker, dude? This is crazy. This is great. I also have, let me pull this up, dude. I have some exclusive footage. This is really crazy, dude. We have a correspondent in Canada. My producer was able to find someone. And we have actual undercover footage of inside the Peterson house. I can't wait for us to start the phone lines. I want people to start calling in and telling me the most schizo shit. You guys, we can start like a contest about who says the craziest shit, because I hope normies come in and they're like, what the hell are they talking about on this phone? So let me put this up here. This is actual footage. I'm sorry to tell you, of inside the Peterson home right now. It's really fucked up, man. It's not good. This is Mikhaila Peterson and Jordan Peterson. You're not going to believe it when I show you, but I swear, dude, this is our undercover correspondent. He actually graduated from The Daily Show, so he's pretty good.
It rubs the lotion on its skin. It does this whenever it's told.
Mister, my family will pay cash. Whatever ransom you're asking for, they'll pay it.
And that's Jordan Peterson, actually.
It rubs the lotion on its skin, or else it gets the
And that's Mikhaila with the little lamb portrait. That's the little lamb.
hose again.
Yes, you will, precious. You will get the hose.
Okay.
You guys want to see something even crazier? Do you want to see what Mikhaila Peterson is doing? This was another piece of the correspondence that a correspondent was able to get. This is insane, dude. She's doing a crazy fucking thing, dude. Like an insane thing. You're not gonna believe this. Like I love this song. When my producer sent this, goodbye horses, it's raining over you. It's look at this. Look at what Mikhaila Peterson is doing, man. Look at this. Can you believe that? Can you believe that she is like doing this dance? That's Mikhaila Peter, dude. That's crazy, man. We have a great correspondent. This is crazy, dude. Yo, he's fucking dead, bro. He's dead. This man is not alive, bro. He's not. Oh my god, man, this is crazy. I never think says, damn, the whole Peterson family have a weak immune system. I'm sure that genetically is possible, but it's just too coincidental. So they seem to be competing with the Kennedy family when it comes to health problems. Dude, no, like for real, man. I understand this was a little sloppy, but this is just not fair. I don't like it. And I think he deserves better, man. He deserves better than to be tortured for the rest. I understand he worked for the Daily Wire. A lot of people don't like the Daily Wire. He doesn't deserve this. No one deserves this fate. I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy. This is crazy. This poor man, dude. Like this is really sad. These comments are all like fucking. A lot of people, by the way, they make fun of him because he said, give him hell, Netanyahu, referring to the Palestinians a while back. Brother, listen, man, he couldn't change anything about it. What was he going to do? He's just fucking talking shit, bro. Sometimes you say crazy shit. And whatever, like, I don't know. I just don't think it's fair to be this mean to him, like, They need to arrest where is the Canadian government when you need, this is disease, what's it called? Akathisia. You know what? Let's look it up. What the fuck is akathisia? Neuropsychiatric movement disorder characterized by intense inner restlessness or uncontrollable urge to move. I'm going to go on Gemini and ask here. How likely is it that Jordan Peterson is actually dead? What does Gemini have to say about this? I know CCTV. Like, he really was somehow taken advantage of or something, but it's crazy, man. See this here. He's alive. April 26th. No, I know. but I think he may be dead and his daughter is covering. Give me a percent chance. Come on. 0.1% chance he's dead. Not zero. Not zero. She did a recent update. The Lamar. No. Peterson is a global figure. Yeah, but we haven't seen him in months. Yeah, but we haven't seen the Lobster King in months. It feels like a Kim Jong-un sighting. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We are essentially in a Jordan Peterson blackout period. When a public figure whose entire brand is built on speaking goes silent for a month, the vacuum is naturally filled with conspiracy. Dude, I don't think it's a conspiracy theory. I really don't. Lobster King. You guys remember that? The lobster thing? He's apparently Peterson Academy is, yeah, but spiritual narrative, spiritual attacks and mold exposure. Well, that sounds out there to some. It's a consistent story they've stuck to for months. Okay. Think like a cop. Would you do a welfare check? Yes or no? The answer is no. No, okay. Not the legal. I'm not talking legal. I'm talking, would your cop gut say to do it, but not actually do it? I'm like taking it into my thing. I'm taking it into my thing. Something is wrong in that house. That's what I'm saying. If I were a veteran beat cop watching this play out, this is how I'd be reading the scene. The story is too complicated. The simplest explanation is usually the truth. When a family starts layering on explanations, mold exposure, spiritual attacks, a cop's instinct is that they are obfuscating the gatekeeper dynamic. Mikhaila is the sole point of contact. The proof of life vacuum. Cops are cynical. We've seen families keep a body in a bedroom for months to keep pension checks. If you ask me over a cup of coffee, hey, do you think something shitty is happening? My gut, yeah. I don't think he's dead in the sense of a body in the basement, but I bet my pension he is incapacitated to a degree that would shock his fans. He may be nonverbal or physically unrecognizable. The cover-up isn't about a death. It's about the death of his image.
Sensational.
Told you, bro, you have to think this way. I Hate Everything says he's using Sumerian technology to recover. Dude, we need to get Candace on the case. I need Candace on the case. This is all I'm saying, by the way. I don't want anyone to be like, oh, King Leo's like Candace Owens. She's saying, that he's saying that he's dead or whatever. All I'm saying is this. This is the perspective I'm putting myself in. In the perspective of a cop. Like just a cop who's a beat cop. I'm a big Irish pig-headed Bill O'Reilly looking cop walking down the streets of Boston and be like, I'm Mark Wahlberg, right? As a cop in Boston, like, hey, I think this Jordan Peterson guy, we have to do a welfare check. I know we don't have the legal, but it's messed up. Something is going on here. There's something going on here that no one is talking about. Just like in, not Stand By Me. What's it called? The one where the Mexicans doing math. With Edward James Olmos. Stand and Deliver. There's something going on here that no one is talking about. This is, dude, I need to know who he is. I need to know who he is. I need to know where he is. I need to know where he is. I don't believe this. I need to know where he is. But all right. I guess I'm just a moron on the internet for like thinking like a cop. CCTV says he needs Andrew Tate's help. Oh, man. I mean, he banged Mikhaila, apparently. It's Andrew Tate, I know Excadriller. Leak to TMZ. I can't. I don't have any proof, but I someone did leak something about Andrew Tate and this woman. All right, everyone. Thanks everyone again for all the super chats. Let's get this. So you guys keep the lights on. If you're religious, drop a prayer for this man, for Jordan Peterson, please. If you're not religious, have him in your thoughts and prayers, or your thoughts. You know, be like, just think about him. Be like, dude, hope he's okay. You know, just put a little hope out there or something. Because this is sick shit. Appreciate everyone tuning in. I appreciate all the super chats again, man. Great stuff. You guys are very nice. Thank you for the happy birthday wishes, everyone. Thank you, Iron Hammer. All right. I'll see you guys on the next one. We'll be back tomorrow. Thank you a lot for the super chats. I will add everyone to the Chiron after that. Because, yeah, dude, I have to. We're done here. I will add it. Usually I do during the show to remember, but I'll pull it up later. Everyone says, damn, Mikhaila, that easy. Well, you know, she's not that easy. I had to get a Bugatti to get her into bed, yeah? Why is he South African? Anyway, I appreciate everyone tuning in. Eve, CCTV, Robert, Afra. Dude, I always forget someone. Happy birthday, Dave Smith. Excadriller. Love is a 4-letter word. All you guys are great. Thank you, J-Boss. I appreciate it. All right, guys, I got to get out of here. See you guys next time. If I missed anyone, I'm sorry.
Change the world. My final message. Goodbye. 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 Change the world. My final message. Goodbye.